What's up, guys? Alex from McVeigh Games here, and today I'm going to be testing out slash showing you my Pawpsicle deck, the new version of the Ruby ramp style decks that were originally okay at the beginning of Season 1, but now it's been innovated with the new Pawpsicle card. So the whole point of this deck is very similar to Ruby Amethyst of last format, where it's control. Just the ways you get to the control game are different. Instead of using Magic Mirror and Friends from the Other Side to draw cards, you're using this rat and this fox and then Pawpsicle to add back your draw power and get into late game that way, along with using Grandma Tala and one jump ahead to get your ramp much quicker so that you get into late game quicker. So going over the card for card, everyone's build is a little bit different right now. I just recently played against a guy that played the big Queen of Hearts and the Tiger, but I just want to go with standard. But I don't like the one drops because I played the Teeth of Ambition, so I'll go over that later. So we play 2 Queen. It's a 2-drop. It's Rush. It helps you beat the aggro decks. 4 Grandma Tala. It's Ramp. It's a 2-drop, so it can sing the 1 jump ahead, and that's really about it for that card. This small child, it quests for 2, which is nice. It also has some item synergy. So late game, it's a decent draw because you can just threaten for game potentially with a nice quest for 2. 2 Judy Hops, it's item removal, but that's not really what you use it for. Use it to just pop your own Pawpsicles so that you can draw more cards. So it's kind of a bad version of this card. And then the MVP of the deck is this guy. It says pop one of your own items when he quests or when you play him, and you draw 2 cards. So you can do that with your Shield of Virtue or your Pawpsicles, and he's really your ramp. This guy can add back the Pawpsicle, which is really, really solid. He quests for 2, which is nice. So it combos well with the other guy. But because you play 4 Pawpsicle, he's okay. He's essentially draw 1 on summons, which isn't bad. 4 Maui's, or 3, my bad. He's pseudo spot removal. He's inkable, so he's better than a lot of the other spot removal. He's 6, so he can actually out this. So if they on turn 4 quested, then you can just play Maui and then whack over it or whatever. 2 Lady Tremaine, it's spot removal, but it's bad but good spot removal. So it's bad if they have a wide board and you specifically want to hit something, but it's good spot removal if you're playing against a green deck and they play Cusco. And just Cusco, and you can play her and it'll kill the Cusco because it says when you play this, each opponent chooses, so it's not you choosing, it's the opponent. Then we got 2 Gaston, quest for 3. It's kind of cool because it lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then choose one. So especially late game, when you've run through a lot of your deck, you can actually see pretty powerful cards and have a nice choice of what you want. 2 Scar, more spot removal. It's kind of Be Prepared, but it's Be Prepared for only exerted characters. And also he can quest if he survives, which is kind of cool. Overall, I like the card. I think it's really good against the aggro decks. But besides that, it's uninkable, which is just unfortunate. Then we got 2 Hades. He's just Dragon Maleficent at home. It is kind of cool that you can play him a couple turns sooner. But besides that, Dragon Maleficent is just better. And then my 1 tech card, I'm playing a BLT Mickey because I like the idea that late game, I can just play this against a deck that isn't the mirror match, and they just can't out it. Because a lot of decks that don't play Ruby and Sapphire, they have a really hard time outing this card just because of its evasive and it being a 5/5. So it feels like a really, really good late game bomb. Might be cut for something else, more spot removal. But as of right now, I'm liking the card. I'm playing 3 Tamatoa. Some people play 2, but I like 3 because I like the ability that he's just a powerhouse late game. Same thing. He can quest for 4 or 5 potentially. And he's a draw card every time he's played and every time he's quested. So I think this card's one of the best cards in the deck. So I don't see a reason to play less. Maybe Mickey Mouse can be cut for another one if I really decide I like him. And I could play 4, but I haven't seen builds play 4 too many times. I'm just testing out 3. And then 4 Dragon Maleficent because it's the best spot removal in the game. There's just no downside to the card. Now going on to the songs. This is the reason why like this particular version I really like, because it's really good against the early game aggro threats. Where if the opponent's really fast and playing like Pinocchios, bodyguards, etc., you're just able to out the cards and then not lose early game. And then it can also whack your grandma and then put in your inkwell, and then it can ramp you a little bit better while also protecting you from these like super aggro oriented decks. And it's inkable, so there's really like no downside to the song. Another cute interaction, since it deals damage to your own guys, there's some times where you need the Pawpsicle in the graveyard to be able to add it back. So you can just deal damage to your own guys, heal with Pawpsicle, and then you can add it back with like a Tamatoa or the Fox guy. 3 1 jump ahead. Card's not super great. I don't personally like the card. It feels like a -1, but it's a song, so you can sing it, which isn't bad. And it helps you ramp early game instead of like it being a character like Mickey Mouse, where like you need to play the Mickey Mouse. In theory, you could sing, and then it costs you to do something else. 3 Let It Go. I feel like this is slightly better than Dragonfire, mainly due to the fact that it's inkable. The song factor is kind of cool, but it does put it into the inkwell, which is fine, but it's actually okay versus some matchups because they could play Hades, but in other matchups it just helps them ramp. But I'm playing it as inkable spot removal mainly because it's serving the same purpose as Dragonfire. Just this isn't a dead draw sometimes. 4 Be Prepared just helps you keep in the game, and because you ramp up so quickly, you could potentially play this on turn 5 sometimes. So having that threat of, oh, aggro decks go really fast, I can just win the game because of this card. And then my items, some builds play 4 of this. Deciding to just do 3. Another ramp ability for all your uninkable cards. 4 Pawpsicle, focal point of the deck. Card's insane. Draws a card. There's like nothing wrong with this card, honestly. It's like your best 1-drop, and it's actually like your only 1-drop. And then 4 Shield the Virtue. It's another 1-drop item. Some people play that one like Scepter that gives a guy support, so I might test that out, but as of right now, I'm just dealing with these as my items. So going into the spread of the curvature of the deck. Oh, geez, if this loads. So there's like, it's very balanced. There's like no real curve because the ramp is there. Like, yes, I have like 1s and 2s, which is nice to like give me some early access, but then like after turn like 4, it just kind of like distributes evenly between like the 5s and the 9s almost, because I'm not really trying to go like a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop. I'm trying to go like Pawpsicle and then ramp and then ramp, and then now I'm into late game essentially. So overall, that's the deck. Most of these builds are pretty standard as of right now. Like I said, some people try variations, and this deck will continue to adapt as the format progresses. But for right now, I think this is a good starting point. I'll give you a general idea like how the deck performs. So now we're gonna go right into a gameplay to show you guys like what the deck does. It has a really good Amber Steel matchup, which is the main reason why it's like so popular right now. But the mirror match is kind of wild because like both of you are drawing just so many cards so quickly that the games can last like decently long. It's not to the point where like you're decking each other out, but it is to the point of like sometimes the games can last long. So ideally so I have my ramp, I'm a Grammatala, which is nice. I'll probably keep the Be Prepared just because that is an option. I might keep the shield because it's an item, just in case I draw any of my item cards, and I do not. So I'm playing against a green, so just green so far. Draw another shield, probably ink that, and then I guess we'll play a shield just to like get on the field. And then I'll pass. That might be incorrect, but I feel like it might be okay with like the Queen of Hearts later. So we'll have to see. It's nice to see that I'm against a green deck because Be Prepared is going to be very solid versus that, but I also don't have to like worry too much about like card advantage. As long as I can get to late game, I'm probably just winning the game. Cusco's can be annoying just because of ward, but that's why we have like Lady Tremaine and Be Prepared. Improvise, interesting. Haven't seen that card much. It really just says draw 1, So it's not like super crazy. Scar's also really good versus this matchup, which is nice to see. Yeah, so we can ink the Grammatala. We can play Grammatala because they're not really like posing any threat with this Flun Rider right now. So we can save the Queen for potentially like a better threat. Yeah, and that guy is pretty good. Unfortunate. So we can sing with Grandma. This is far away, so we can just ink this. And then, yeah, we can just pass here. Might have been correct to... Okay, so he decides to whack, which is cool. Which I'm fine with. It might have been correct to, like, quest first and then shield, but it's okay. As long as he doesn't, like, hit us. Okay, so we discard. This isn't super great right now. But he does sing with the John, which is nice to see because our Queen can come down and just deal with the John. Lady Tremaine ain't uninkable, which is unfortunate. But she can come down and just whack that kid out of the way, which is nice. Now the question is, I think we have to. And I think we have to ink the Let It Go because we need to be able to play these threats next turn. And probably just protect the Queen. I'm gonna make us discard. Yeah, might as well protect the Queen. Just in case. Like, they can shift over the Flynn Rider, which would be annoying, and then they can quest. Ooh. That is rough. Now we're just top decking because Daisy's gonna quest, and then... Ooh. That is really rough. It's okay, we ramped up pretty quickly though, so we can have decent bombs that we can just like throw down. Yeah. Playing the shield might have been a misplay in like the very, very long run. Ooh. That is not super great because they're just going to be able to deal with that. And that really sucks. Because they're just going to quest with the Daisy again and then discard to be prepared. Wow, that's unfortunate. Oh, now they play the John. Yeah, this game was just not great for us. Where if we kept the shield in hand, we would have been able to discard that and we could have had to be prepared. We wouldn't have been able to draw an inkable anyway, so we wouldn't have been able to play it. But when you quest each opponent, yeah. Okay, so we draw Maui. That's actually really, really good here. Because we can just play that. And we can whack the Daisy, which is nice. So that might get us somewhere. And then we can pass. The keeping no hand here is like interesting. Because they really can't do much. Except for that. That's kind of wild. So now they can quest for 4. But if they do quest for 4, then Queen can deal with it, which is nice. And they have no way to ready it. They're low on their inkwell still. But they do have 4 cards in hand, which is kind of threatening. And they ink Fishbone. Just get that out of my hand to have no cards in my hand. We can... Oh wait, does he have a... He has evasive. Ooh. Yeah, I think we just lose. I completely forgot he had evasive. So like, despite the thing... Oh, that's such a weird paradox. Where like, I keep no cards in my hand. Flynn Rider quests for a lot. But because I have no cards in my hand, his discard engine is like not great. So it makes you want to play like super weird. Oh, wow. So he bounces the Maui and bounces the Flynn Rider back to the hand. So then he can use a discard card, which is cool. And yeah, which I'm fine with. Like he could have done that like after he quested. But yeah, then he just plays the Flynn Rider again. Another fishbone. Ugh. So annoying. Oh, geez. That's unfortunate. Let's save it. Oh, and it just kicked me out of the game. That is fun. Well, we're going to lose that anyway, so it didn't really matter. So we'll just hop into it. Oh. That's kind of wild. Well, I guess that'll be the end of the video. The client just immediately updated in the video. So I guess I will be uploading more Ruby Sapphire gameplay later. Not with an in-depth like deck profile, but it will be just like the standard gameplay video. So I appreciate you guys watching, and if you guys enjoyed the content, I would appreciate if you would subscribe and maybe like the video to help it out. So you guys have a wonderful day, stay safe, and peace.